Hello and welcome back to your geography class. Actually, the last class for our chapter number 2, because we are going to sum up our chapter with the discussion of questions. So let's start today's class without any delay. Here is the first question. So at first we used to discuss MCQs. So here is the first question. Which of the following is not? So not is coming frequently. So it means it is an alarm for us to be more cautious while coming out with the answer. So which of the following is not a factor affecting soil formation? Parent rock, time, soil texture, wind speed. Of course, the wind speed is our answer because it will help the soil erosion. Which and for the soil formation part also. Which type of vegetation is found in the heavy rainfall area? So we are talking about which type of vegetation. Heavy rainfall area. So we are going to take this option. Scrubs in the scarcity of water areas. Thorny in the same, likewise desert areas. Grasslands where less amount of water is there. So our answer is forest. Question number 3, the process of covering bare ground. Bare means where nothing is grown onto the surface of the land. Only soil is there, loose soil between plants with organic matter is called. So we have to pick one particular term that is describing this defined. So that term is mulching. Within the mulching, the bare ground is covered either with straw or anything particular so that the soil should not be loose. Question number 4. What percentage of the earth's water is fresh water available for human use? Remember, 97.3 saline, other out of remaining 3. 2% is of the underground water or the glacier covered, that is the frozen water. Then coming to the last one, that is 1%. So the answer will be 1%. Next, what is the term for land that is owned by communities? So of course, community land. If it will be owned by the individual, it will be referred as private land or privately owned land. Which of the following animals is considered a scavenger? Scavenger, we are talking about the flesh eating animal, and we are talking about that, and they help to clean the environment because randomly animals do die, birds do die in the open. If they will remain over there, they will decompose in open and it will create the foul smell and several spread of the diseases. So to stop that, it is helping the nature. So what will be the answer? It is vulture, because lion is not allowed to go anywhere. Of course, if it will go where the humans are going to live. Peacock is not there, elephant is not there, both are, the plants eating or vegetation eating. So remaining is the vulture, that is a bird. Then, which natural disaster involves the mass movement of rocks, debris and or earth down a slope? That is a landslide. Within the landslide, the rocks and debris just move from their place. It can be in bulk, it can be small count, but landslide is landslide. It is going to cause destruction. What is the name of the process through which water continuously moves between ocean, air and land? So this is going to be the cycle because it goes on continuously. So it is water cycle because we are talking about the movement of the water only. Which conservation method involves planting rows of trees to check wind movement? So it is the shelter belt. Next is question answers. What is the main ingredient? Ingredient, likewise for the preparation of the dish, we do have various ingredients. Usme dalne wale saman, masale, whatever it is there, they are called as ingredients. So here we are not talking about any dish, but what we are talking about, we have to read. So what is the main ingredient obtained from silkworms? Silk. Answer. Then what term is used to describe a zone of contact between lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere? So it is biosphere. What term is used? So this is the answer for the question, biosphere. Which method involves the use of rocks to slow water flow and prevent soil erosion? Can be dam, so rock dams. Then what is the thin layer of grainy, danedar material covering the earth's surface called. So, a thin layer of material covering the rocks or covering the uppermost layer of the earth is known as soil. Beneath the soil comes a layer of rocks. Then next question is, explain the major factors of soil formation. So major factors, climatic one if we talk about. So climate may we do have temperature and rainfall, but our answer is quite the huge one. So let's read out. So one of the factor is parent rock. Parent rock, we are talking about from which rock the particular soil is being formed. And also the parent rock is referred to the first ever rock to be formed. So let's read out what is mentioned. It determines the color. It depends on the parent rock what kind of soil is going to be formed. The color of the soil, the texture, smoothness, roughness, chemical properties, what kind of chemicals are in there, and mineral content are there in the soil. So no matter whether it is igneous, sedimentary or metamorphic rocks, I hope you remember there are three types of rocks. So किसी भी पत्थर से मिट्टी बने, the particular features of the rock will be found in the particular soil that will be formed. Then climate की हम बात कर रहे थे. Climate influences the rate of weathering. Weathering is the breaking away, split up of the rock or the occurrence of the cracks in the topmost layer of the rock. तो ये है weathering. So climatic factors, the rainfall and temperatures are going to affect the weathering process responsible for the soil formation. Next is topography, relief feature. So affects the accumulation, इकट्ठा होना and distribution of soil. Flora, fauna, that is, flora is vegetation, fauna is wildlife and microorganism. So they do contribute as well to humus. Humus is basically the decomposed part of the remains of these microorganisms, flora and fauna. And more it will be in the soil, more the soil will be fertile, and of course it, forms the soil. It helps in the formation process as well. Time is the most important factor. How so? It determines the thickness of the soil profile over long periods. There is a diagram of soil profile also mentioned in your book as well. Now that soil profile carries different layers of the soil. How it starts from the rock, then the smaller rocks, then the granular rocks, then how it comes to the topmost layer of the soil, that is called as soil profile. So soil profile takes time in the final process of the formation of the soil. Discuss the causes and prevention methods for land degradation. लैंड का क्वालिटी खराब होने की रीजन एंड बचाने की रीजन वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस, येट टू रिपीट. So causes of land degradation: deforestation, overgrazing, overuse of chemicals and fertilizers and pesticides. Then prevention method: deforestation का afforestation, overgrazing, reduce the grazing, or land reclamation and controlled grazing, less grazing or reducing the grazing. Regulated use of fertilizers and pesticides. So opposite to the causes one will be the answer. Further, how can natural vegetation and wildlife be conserved? With the help of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, stop hunting, poaching, along with the stop deforestation. These are the common one. So creating protected areas as the national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. So establishing national parks, wildlife sanctuaries and biosphere reserves as well. So responsible for the endangered species protection of the plants, responsible for the endangered species of the animals, and responsible for the endangered species of both flora and fauna. Promoting awareness about to protect the flora and fauna. So government is of course going to play a vital role in that. Programs like social forestry, One Mahotsav are already there and government is promoting them. Strict laws should be there against hunting, poaching and deforestation kind of thing. So enforcing to make this in practice कि ऐसा होना चाहिए. क्या होना चाहिए? Anti poaching laws. It means those who are illegally hunting, killing the animals, they should get punished. and banning illegal trade of wildlife products. It means either of the body parts of the animals, any particular animal. Likewise, elephant ka trunk, teeth, these are illegally smuggled and they should not be there. Then habitat restoration, habitat living area restoration. Likewise, if deforestation is there, we should plant more and more forests so that the habitat should be restored. रहने की जगह फिर से available कराई जाए. Habitat restoration. So conserving wetlands, creeks and lakes. These are particularly the regions where animals do reside along with their natural habitat. Educational efforts, so encouraging bird watching so that more and more species should be conserved, saved, protected, and nature camps to spend a night in the natural zone within the nature to understand the importance of the nature. The nature camping should be done within the schools and awareness programs should be promoted along with that. Further, what are the different methods of soil conservation to protect the soil erosion? For that part, mulching is basically covering bare ground with organic matter like straw or to retain the soil moisture. मतलब कुल मिलाकर mulching में we should not keep the land barren. Something should be kept on the soil so that the topmost layer should be preserved. Contour barriers, likewise mud walls, small tiny mud walls should be created where using stones, grass or soil to slow down the water flowing. It can be done particularly within the hilly areas, mountainous region. Terrace farming to be done in the mountainous region to stop the soil erosion because मिट्टी पानी के साथ बह सकती है. Then rock dams, over there pilling rocks to prevent soil erosion by slowing water flow. And dams are to be constructed where the rivers enter the plains from the mountains. So as the river water is entering the plains, the pressure of the water flow is quite great and that pressure can be utilized to generate electricity also, double purpose. Shelter belts, so in between the grown crops or somehow planting rows of trees to reduce the wind erosion. It means at the periphery, खेत के चारों तरफ we can grow the trees just to stop or interrupt the movement of the fast wind. Then intercropping, growing alternate rows. Likewise, these rows are of crops. In between, we are growing something else just to stop the soil erosion. That is known as, so within the main rows, we can grow a certain type of crop that can be sold out and in between we can grow the vegetation, likewise vegetable or flowers. Then explain the importance of water resources and the issues related to water scarcity. Issues related to water scarcity can be the reasons, and what are the reasons? Of course, growing population, demand, overuse, wastage of water, all the common, still we have to learn and read. So first of all, importance of water. We need water for our survival, prime importance. So essential for drinking, agriculture, industrial use. It supports life, it supports ecosystem. It is used for generating electricity through dams and reservoirs. So basic important features. Issues related to water scarcity, uneven distribution due to the climate variation, overuse, pollution from the untreated water to be disposed in the open water bodies, depletion of groundwater due to more and more urbanization because there are no rivers in the urban areas. So groundwater is to be extracted for the usage part. Then conservation method, rainwater harvesting, drip and sprinkler irrigation system and forest cover. It means afforestation. So that's all for today's extra questions class. See you soon in the next class with the new upcoming chapter, chapter number 3. Kindly go through the reading part of the chapter so that chapter will become more easier to understand. So see you soon. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.